fines everywhere. Right. I hear you. I got it. There we go. Yeah. Who's afraid to sit in the front? Does someone think I'm going to bite them or what? Okay. Well, welcome everyone, and welcome those who did finally get on Zoom. But it looks like there's more people in the room than on Zoom. And the next gentleman up to do reflections, this is his first time to be here in person. Sean Quigley, would you please come forward? Sorry, I don't have a button to say first time on it. You got it. You got. Can they see you? Yeah. Can they see you on Zoom? Okay.
Just kidding. I know I'm not on mute anymore. So I thought what I would do is kind of combine the reflection and the land acknowledgement together. So as the land acknowledgement, we all recognize that we're situated on Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Huron-Wendat territory. And then what I'd like us to do in terms of the reflections, our reflection piece is for a moment of thanks. We're all going to share a moment of silence. And during your moment of silence, what I'd like you to think about is that you have the power to communicate with Mother Earth. What does she need from you, and what can you do? So let's just take a few seconds and just relax, take a breath, close our eyes, have our moment of silence. And that's what I want you to think about. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Sean. It kind of reminds me of the time that we went early in the year as being president on that little walk at the Conservation Authority. And it's a therapy walk, and it puts you in tune with nature. So welcome everyone here. Firstly, I just want to thank those who sat on my board. And I really appreciate your guidance and your help. We had a few issues come up where we lost some of our board members through the year, but then others like Garrett stepped up, and I really appreciate that. And those who are here that were on my board, would you please stand? Are they all here in attendance? So we're missing, Hugh started out with us on the board. Peter Milliken also started out on the board, but I don't see Peter here today, and I know that Hugh is still in the hospital. So our thoughts are with Hugh and with Peter as well. So thank you to the board. Laura, Nadine, could you please stand? And the chef, wherever he is, I know he's out there. Can he come in for a minute? Can we welcome him in? Where did Laura go? Did we lose Laura? Oh, she's with him. So we've had the pleasure to use this facility for our meetings, and it's really worked out well. And there he is. Big round of applause for our chef. He prepared a wonderful lunch for every meeting. We really appreciate it. And you know what? As soon as I am past president, I'm going to sit down and have lunch. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. Sorry, I've got lots of notes because there's so much to cover. There's Laura. And Laura not only provided the room, but she also does registration. So when people come in, Laura and Nadine collect the money, keep track. That used to be a Rotary duty. But Laura has taken it on, and Kingsbridge have taken it on, and we really appreciate that. They're here every week supporting us, and That's, oh, and this is her last day too. Hey, Laura, we're retiring together. Yay, we're retiring together. I would like to take this time and reflect back on my year, and what a year it was. It seems to go by very quickly. Coming out of a pandemic was a bit of a challenge, trying to get people back and comfortable going to events. And we did that. We really did. And we started off in the summer with a fundraiser with Pickleball Pete. And he organized a pickleball tournament. And in that tournament, I had to sell, I think it was 50-50 tickets all day long. I don't think I've ever worked so hard in my life to sell 50-50 tickets all day long. But in the end, the tournament raised about $6,000. And that was a start to our fundraising year that, of course, I'm going to talk a lot about here today. So we moved on from the summer from pickleball, and then it was the nut drive. And Marcy and Pete stepped in and ran the nut drive. Now, the problem was there'd been a pandemic and there was miscommunication happening between some of the players. So there were a few issues. However, we got through it, we learned from it, and again, we raised about another $6,000. And the nut drive has been a long-standing tradition with this club and the engineers at Queen's. Now we have a new head nut. Remy, would you please stand, who happens to be here today? Our new head nut is Remy. Remy's a new member. He's got big ideas, he's gung-ho, and he needs your help. So we are looking for 100 drivers for Labor Day Monday. And Remy's appealing to the club, I'm appealing to the club that you come out and support this event. Bring your friends who have a driver's license, hopefully, so they can drive and help out. Is there anything else you want to say to that, Remy? I know you like to talk too.
Well, I think that's the point. Camera. No, you said it very well. Just please do support it. Just the big difference that I'm seeing is that one of the major points about the nut drive, it's not just about raising money, it's about the social impact. It's about the impact that students can have in our community, fostering a relationship with another major organization in the city. That the students are a part of Kingston and we work with each other. So one of my visions is to make it more of a year-long relationship. So please get involved. This is going to grow. It's in its 57th year. We need to get it to be a 58th year, because this is a complete flop and I become the head nut, I may become the was nut. So let's make it, let's get to the 58th year and celebrate even more successes. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing up that important point about social impact. And it gives the students an opportunity to get outside of their little bubble. That's what I always tell them when I put them in my car. Hey, you're going to see the rest of Kingston. Here we're going to go knocking on doors and let's sell some nuts. And they all, I've never had any problems, but last year a few of our members did, but we're resolving that with Queens as we speak. So we're all aware, without fundraising, what happens? Do we have money to give to the community if we don't fundraise? I'm afraid we're not like the government, where we can just write checks. Oh yeah, I had to get that in for just a bit. You know I had to. It is my last day. And I have been very good, I think, all year. Wouldn't you agree? However, we have to balance our books. So the money that we raise, then the money goes out that we raise into our community. So September was a banner fundraising month. The nut drive, and then we had the fair. And with the fair, thanks to Darlene, she's here in the room with her grandson. There they are. Darlene approached them and they said, look, if you can get volunteers, we'll give you $10,000 to work the gates at the fair. So Darlene, myself, and Paul had a meeting and we raised $10,000, but Paul organized 80 volunteers and coordinated the days and working the gates. And that's a big organizational challenge that he took on to bring all the volunteers together. I'm happy to report, Matt, that we're doing the gates again. And this year, they have, because we all Rotarians did such a great job, they've offered to give us $15,000 to work the gates for next year. But again, it does not happen without the volunteers. And other clubs participate in this with us. There's partnerships. We're not working in a silo where it's just our club. The same for the nut drive. Other clubs will come out and support the nut drive as well. So there's some good camaraderie and partnerships growing as we work together as a club. Even though there are so many clubs in Kingston, we still can get together and do some projects together. I just want to say that I gave blood for the first time yesterday. And thanks to Don Polk, who came here from the Frontenac Club, I put myself on the Rotary team and I walked into the blood clinic and Ray at the door said, hi, Alicia. Oh, who are you? I know you, he says. Do you live next door to so-and-so? And I said, yes. Anyway, it's a great place. If you've never given blood, you should see the treats you get after. Wow, it's amazing. It's a great thing to do. And it, of course, is important just before the holiday weekend. Well, as you know, it did not stop there. Then it was the gala. The gala committee was off and on during COVID, because of course we were trying to figure out what's the right date. So finally we got a date and Darlene, Renee, Marcy, and the team put on an incredible event and we raised over $150,000. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I think COVID helped us because people wanted to get out. They wanted to see people, they wanted to mingle, and auctioning was like taking candy away from them right out of their pocket. It was so much fun. They had a few cocktails and, so we were able to raise some money. Now I'm still waiting for Fred Evans to call me and collect his $2,700 dinner that he bought at the auction at my house. Okay. Yeah, somebody paid $2,700, including a few Rotarians here that came to my house for dinner. Yeah, $2,700 for hot dogs. That's just great. This club in 1 month raised, I'm sure, more money than all the clubs combined. It was just incredible. And again, if we don't have the money, then we can't do the social impact on the other side. They go hand in hand. Well, if that's not enough, I got a call from Bernie as I was driving to Ottawa with John. I went with John to meet Jennifer Jones as the new president of Rotary International. And as I was driving, Bernie said, hey, Alicia, I remember you said you wanted to do an Oktoberfest. Do you still want to do that? And I said, yes, Bernie, love to. So called Marcy. Marcy stepped right up to the plate and raised another $20,000 for the Oktoberfest. And my family came down from Toronto. We had an auction, we had hay rides. It was a lot of fun and everybody enjoyed it. Now Matt's got bigger plans. Matt and Marcy are going to run something really special, but I'm not going to tell them what it is. That's for you to tell them that. And so that's going to be coming up in September as well. I'm exhausted just reflecting back on all this. I know, I knew at the time that we were putting a lot on everybody's plate for September, but because of COVID, it just made it work out that way. But there was a light at the end of the tunnel. That was the good news. We held our first in-person Christmas party at the Travel Lodge, thanks to our fellowship committee. Darlene, David Ebbett, Al Fight stepped up, and we had over 50 people attend a turkey dinner and had fellowship. And Dwight volunteered to be Santa Claus, of course. And Berenice came right up to sing Christmas carols, and I didn't even tell her I was going to do that to her, and she just came right up and led the Christmas carols. Thank you, Berenice. Sorry I put you on the spot, but I knew you could do it. Calendars. The calendar girl, she's here with her grandson, Darlene. Darlene sold thousands of calendars. And again, Don Heath helped, kept track of everything. And I know that Jim Bowles was involved in some of the outlets where they were sold, and other Rotarians came out to help. Well, another 30,000 was raised by the calendars. Is anybody tired yet thinking about all we did in a year? Thanks everyone. That was just amazing. Thanks to Zoom, I was able to run Rotary meetings from Florida in January and February. Vice President Matt stepped up to the plate and took over. While I was in Florida on Zoom, Matt was here in person. And I thank you for that, Matt. When Elzeby asked me to run for president, I told her I usually go to Florida in January and February. And she said, oh, well, with Zoom, that shouldn't be a problem. So that's why I agreed, and that's where we are. And I thank you for that, Elspeth. In February, we had a comedy night at Spearhead. Marcy stepped up. Paul, apparently the comedians were a little out of control. For anybody that was there, I think because we moved the venue from the retirement home to Spearhead, they felt like they had the opportunity to do whatever they wanted. So anyway, that's probably going to change next year. Let me just say that. However, Neha really enjoyed it. You probably haven't met Neha. She actually worked the barbecue for Pathways, and she actually enjoyed the comedy. So I don't know, maybe it's lost in translation or something. Anyway, again, now we're already in April, and our treasurer is trying to keep up with all the transactions that happen with all the fundraising events. And Andre, thank you for all your help on that, keeping track of the money and helping Peter, because there were a lot of transactions, money coming in, and things needed to, invoices needed to go out, receipts, charitable receipts. It's a lot of work, and a lot of the clubs do not have this function. I actually, when I was down on Niagara Lake, I was with some Rotarian friends, all past presidents and presidents. So I asked them, and they do not issue tax receipts. So a lot of the smaller clubs that are 30 members do not. We're the only club that does. And a lot of you probably didn't know that. So I thought I would point that out. You can always give us money and we'll give you a tax receipt. Rotary has 7 areas of focus, and one is the environment. And we are very lucky in this club to have someone willing and able to championship this for us. You hear a lot about the environment today. You hear a lot about forest fires, floods, many things. Climate change is real. And so what are we going to do about it? Well, Elzeby, past president, thank you for putting yourself out there for what you believe in and striving to educate people about the issues. It's a tough battle. It's not easy. but you put yourself out there. And we may, as I say to Elsie, we may agree, we may not agree, but it's all great. It's an education and it's room. For some reason, I think we've lost the sense of being able to discuss issues in a respectful way. And we learn from other people. We may not always agree with everything, but we learn. And, you know, we need to be respectful of other people's opinions. This club, thanks to Pete Burrell and Carol Carche and their team, Rotarians of the Year, as they should be, we have never had such an international presence in our club in 20 years. We got a global grant for 44,000 US, and we haven't done that in 20 years, which is great, wonderful. You've put us on the map there. As many of you are aware, a war is happening in Ukraine, and I felt I had to help out. My mother grew up in the southern part of Poland, and my dad was from Warsaw. My grandmother told me stories about hiding my mother in a barn when the Russian soldiers came to the house. So I have some sympathy for these people from Ukraine. So I decided to get some signs and started selling signs for about 6 months. And I have this little blue bowl in my house where I just threw the money. And I said to myself, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Something's going to come up where I can double my money. I want to double my money. So anyway, we got to a certain amount, and then the district, Renfrew, decided, hey, we've got this blanket campaign, and whatever money you give, we'll double it. So we ended up sending a check for $10,000 to Kyiv. There, the blankets were made to keep people busy, and then they were distributed to people in the bomb shelters. So I feel really good about that. And I have a friend who is north of Sterling. He's just gotten back from Ukraine now. He's been in Kyiv, and he's been volunteering, and it's his 4th trip back. His name is David Black, and he has no connection to Ukraine, only that he felt he needed to go and do something and help. So he's been taking medical supplies, and people have donated money and all sorts of great things. So there are good people out there doing wonderful things. And I would like to get him as a guest speaker to our club in the next little while, because he has some real life experiences. The other thing our club did for Ukraine, we sold some sunflower seeds, and I thank you all that bought some seeds. I noticed the other day I put mine in and the squirrels are starting to attack my sunflower seeds. Anybody have any ideas about that? I'll talk to you, Elsie. You're the master gardener now. How do I get the squirrels to quit digging up my sunflower seeds? This year we were also able to have our first Paul Harris night at the Travel Lodge, and that turned out to be a wonderful success. Barry Slater and his committee, thank you for that. And, you know, Marcy got the award from this club, and it was well deserved for all her fundraising efforts. And I thank you, Marcy, from the bottom of my heart. Last week, we heard from our exchange student, Berenice. Berenice is a fabulous exchange student. If you haven't got to know her, please get to know her before you leave today. She was involved in all our fundraising events. She helped out where she could. And I thank all the host families for helping out and giving Bernice different experiences of our Canadian culture. Even if we don't party like they do in France, and even if our pizza sucks, anyway, those are the things we learn when we travel abroad, and we miss the things. I bet you can't wait to get some good bread and cheese when you get back to France. I get it. Okay, I want to thank all the captains of the teams. You're amazing. You stepped up, made the meetings happen. Today we had a little technical difficulty, But we got over that. Matt saved the day again. Now we got some echoes, but that's okay. Someone's not muted. Well, that's not new, is it? Dave Short, please mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, now Paul isn't here today, and I didn't know he wasn't going to be here today. I really thought he was going to be. But he's been here for every meeting to make sure that the technology works so that our club can continue to hold hybrid meetings. Because there's a lot of buttons and cords and things to push to make it work. And between Matt and Paul, but Paul's been here every week, but not this week. And I don't know what I said or did to him, that he's not here. I don't think I did anything, frankly. As well as being here weekly, he's been doing the assistant district governor for Seaway West, running all those meetings. He was a champion of our food security building and programs with Lionhearts and the food sharing project. And thanks to Paul, children will be getting their meals through the summer. Those of you who can pack Wednesday nights, go pack food at the food distribution center. And Thursday, if you can deliver, please deliver. Talk to Paul. He'll tell you what the times and the dates and where you need to be. It's a great experience and a lot of fun, isn't it, Bill Beatty? We worked together at the last one, Bill and I. On top of the food, he also, and he's not here to hear this, but it is taped, so he can listen. Thank you. Help with all the service projects, getting volunteers together to make sure that people attended, like the Boys and Girls Club painting or whatever service projects we were doing. And I really appreciate that. And then Ryla, working with Ryla. And leadership is so important. And we heard from our students how much they learned going to Ryla and what a big part of their life Ryla is. So another thing that Paul's done, and after I leave this meeting, I have one more job to do as president. I'm going to one of the high school graduations for KSS at the Leon Center and presenting a scholarship of $500 for service above self. So this club is giving out 4 of those, 2 at LaSalle, 1 at KSS, and 1 at LCBI. So give yourselves a round of applause. I think that's, if we plant the seeds early about Rotary, I got into Rotary because I was chosen to go on adventure in citizenship. And so I toured the Parliament buildings. I lived with people. People came from all over Canada. And that's when I was first introduced to Rotary, and I was billeted by Rotarians in Ottawa on that. That was great when I was in grade 11. Grade 11. I thought it was going to be a lawyer, but I wasn't. But that's okay. My daughter, she ended up being the lawyer. And he chaired the, now I want to come to membership. So this club, Paul, my numbers guy here, informed me we started with 76 members. And now we're up to 85 members. And that is because of the hard work and dedication to the membership committee. And those on the membership committee, please stand and be recognized. Rini, get up. Paul, John Scheidler, Marika, myself. We had great discussions on how we need to work with our members. We had fireside chats. We set up a mentorship program. We were trying everything to try and keep our members. We know that not everyone can participate in everything in Rotary every day, Remy. It's okay if you didn't come to the meeting today, it would have been okay. But I'm just saying that if you can volunteer and help to pack food and do other service things, we would really appreciate that. Meetings are one thing. I must say, when I joined Rotary, my goal, unlike Todd's and unlike Paul's, was never perfect attendance. It just wasn't. I was just happy to get out and be able to help. But we do have some people that have focused on that in our club. and they should be recognized for taking the time to do that. And I'm just going to read what Paul mentioned here. So there's 35 members in our club that have exceeded 1 year of perfect attendance. So that's a good percentage. And a lot of them are in the room here today. And congratulations to you. And you're doing your goal. And that's important because we all have different goals in life. And we appreciate that. Now, there apparently is a new, an annual recognition for attendance. And that is for a member to get his information into Paul, so he knows how many hours he's put in the field and wherever. And we have one member who diligently did his paperwork, I guess. I'm not good at paperwork, so you wouldn't see anything from me, Paul. Well, I don't know how I got perfect attendance, but anyway, probably only because I was president. So anyway, that was Mike Wilson. And so Mike's not here, but Mike did call me before I left the house this morning and told me that he couldn't be here. So some people focus on perfect attendance. Other people focus on, you know, just getting out, volunteering, and not really keeping track of all their hours. And that's fine. And then we have the foundation. So thanks to the leadership of Don Heath, our foundation, which is very important, the Rotary Foundation. I learned a lot about the Rotary Foundation as president. There's an annual fund that we contribute to, and our goal was 4,000 US, and we raised 5,040 through the annual fund. Polio Plus, our goal was 1,500 US, and we did 2,448 US for Polio Plus. So give yourselves a big round of applause for doing that. And we achieved 21 goals that we set out to achieve. And I think that's pretty amazing. So I also want to thank my family who gave me the opportunity to serve for a year. They're looking forward to having me back in the business again. As president, I was kind of a little bit out of the loop, but now I'm scheduling meetings with my son every week. I'm looking forward to seeing my grandchildren, of course. Yeah, like that. And listening, they're all coming down this weekend. They're all coming down. Thank you to all, everyone who's helped me and supported me through this year. And at this time, I'd like to pass the reins over to your new president, Matt Hawksley. Enjoy your year, Matt. And you know what? You can always call me and we'll go down to the Duke for a beer where we solve all the world's problems, just like that. But I do have one other thing. I noticed it here and I don't want to forget this. John Borscht. John Borscht sends out the ramblings. Has anyone seen ramblings like John puts out? I don't think so, people. Take a bow, John. I really appreciate it. He works really hard gathering the information, taking the time to do stories. It's just amazing, the energy and time that goes into it. And I really, and of course, he's still looking for sheets and hangers for the garden, okay? John's out at the garden. He's still looking for sheets and hangers. If anybody has them, he would really appreciate it. Matt, please come forward. Sorry, I had to throw the John B in there. You know, Johnny, you got to look after him.
I do.
Yeah. All right, Matt, this is all yours.
Thank you so much. And it's going to be quite hard to follow in the footsteps of that right there. So I remember the call, and I'll talk next week more in detail for my first address. But I just want to thank Alicia for everything that she's done for me and many, many people in this room here today too. I wouldn't be up here if not for you all. And I'm very, very excited for this year up ahead. With Alicia, I still remember the phone call. I was walking in Queens at the business school, coming up a spiral staircase at the one point, and said Alicia, and I was like, okay, I'm wondering what this is. It's usually to go to the Duke, which is normally good, but this time I sensed something else at this point in time too. But I talked to her. She was interested in talking about the role of the president. I was engaged. LCB brought me into the board, and I was very thankful working on communications and actually trying to leverage Club Runner, which was a chore too. LCB did a phenomenal job, and well, Johnny B did as well, and Paul. We made it happen, and I was excited. I wasn't expecting to be asked that question at that point in time. Gave it some thought. Suggested another name too out there, but I think she was saying no. But I was really, really excited to be even considered as a potential person, and told her specifically that I was like, I'm going to need to rely on you a lot over the course of the time too. And just, I'll talk later too, but just following the footsteps in the years that I've been here, not quite 4 years, but having Peter Merkley, Paul Elsley, Elsa B, and Alicia, I mean, 4 people that for me were incredibly influential, incredible support, and also just I learned so much over the course of the time, giving me a lot of ideas. And I know each of those people I can easily reach out to for questions or ideas or thoughts. So that's the one thing. I know I'm not doing it alone, and I'm probably going to be reaching out to all of you at some point to try to see what you think. I'm going to be having some one-on-ones and I'll call them to roll out some of the initiatives and things that we're thinking about. I'm really excited for the programs. I know Alex is, or Alex is if she's here or not, but she's online. Yeah, so I know she's all nervous because I've thrown a few different things out there, and she's going to be helping with the program committee and chairing that. So we're going to be looking to have a lot of fun, looking to continue to put Rotary at the center and the hub of our community, and really just continuing to build and to grow the relationships. So I'm very, very excited for the next steps. And again, without the people in this room, and Alicia, thank you so much for even giving me this opportunity. And
Oh, you're welcome,
yeah,
Matt.
I know it. I know that Duke will be a lot different for her, to be smiling a lot more now.
Let's put this pin on. I don't know what the formality is, but I think I'm to pin you.
Oh.
Oh. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
We're breaking protocol now here. All right.
I'm not.
First order of business, we're going to break the rules.
I'm not pins. Sorry, I didn't know that.
I think Remy lost his too. Makes you feel bad.
I know that feeling. Okay, I'll make sure you get another one,
Okay.
Matt.
That is
I'll
fine.
buy you another one because
Okay.
I can't find
We
mine.
don't have to-
So can you order it right now, Garrett? Go online and order it for me so I can give it to Matt. I looked for it. I looked on every suit jacket. See, men wear the same jacket all the time. It's easy for you guys.
Wow. Another farewell note. Right there. So government, it's males, it's now. Okay, here we go.
They all know me so well, and I appreciate that. So whose pin is this again? Oh, I get another pin? Oh my goodness. Don't lose it. I will lose it. I should probably give it to Matt now.
My rental pin.
Yeah,
Keep it for another year.
Yeah, you just keep it for the year, because I'll lose it. Okay. Well, I'm glad
Exactly.
somebody.
Fast forward. There we go.
Thank you, Matt. I'm glad someone set me straight on how the pins work, right? You can tell I'm not into sort of the formality of tradition when it comes to pins. Sorry, but I will make sure you get that pin. I'll just buy another one. Put it on. You got it ordered? Okay, he's gonna do it. He's typing. Thank you, Garrett, our secretary, for saving me again. Okay, Barry Slater from the Awards Committee is going to step forward as he has a few awards to present. Because we have an awards committee. Did you know that, Barry? We have an awards committee. I don't know what the timing of the awards is.
I'm not sure I knew that, Alicia. There are 3 awards to give today.
You want help?
Would you like to present them?
Sure.
The first one is the Avenues of Service Award, and I always tell people it's usually somebody that's been around for a long time because they've been around to see all the avenues of service, usually a past president, because if you're a past president, you're automatically a member of all avenues of service. But it is important that you have seen and been part of all the different avenues of Rotary. This year's recipient is very, very good. And so good, he's been a past president. He's going to do it again. Don Heath, come up, please.
Where's yours? Are you wearing? No, see, you just. I know, but where are your other pins?
They're on the jacket I only wear.
Do we have someone that can take a picture of Dawn getting his award in front of the flag? Here we go. Come on over. We got time. We got time, Dawn. We can do this. You hold your award though.
Thank you.
Don, do you want to stay up here?
Yeah.
The second award has got two recipients, and it's the Outstanding Achievement by a New Rotarian, which is fairly new. We've seen this about 6-7 years, and we give it for outstanding achievement by people that have been in the club for less than 2 years, or close to 2 years. And we couldn't come to agreement on any one this year, so we said these two are very, very deserving. And the first one I'm going to give is Sean Quigley. He'd like to come up and like Don to introduce him.
You want to get your picture taken, Sean?
There's enough of on backs of milk crates. I don't know.
Come on. Wait, we gotta take the plastic off. It doesn't. Yeah, it's a female thing. You're right. Okay. here we go. Well, you want the plastic? I'll get it to you later. Okay. Perfect.
Sean joined the club in March of 2021, right in the middle of the pandemic. And as many of you know, he is the CEO of Youth Diversion, and he brings to the table an extensive knowledge and experience dealing with youth. And so it was natural for him to join the youth committee. And we've been very active in the youth committee in the past, but he put it on steroids because he brought to the table a number of new perspectives, a number of different insights as to how we can best help the youth in this community. So I personally have benefited very much from his insights, from his advice, from his counsel. The committee has done that as well. And as you'll see in the next year's coming budget, we have expanded the budget because of the various programs that Sean has been instrumental in helping us identify. Not only that, he's been very active with the Rotaractors as well, very active with the RILA program. So thank you for your contribution, Sean. We look forward to many years of continued service, and you're it now.
The second most outstanding Rotarian is to Andre Susi. I asked past President and Treasurer Peter Merkley to come today, but he's busy with a family commitment, so you'll have to bear with me and what Andre has done for this club in the last 2 years. He's the assistant treasurer to Peter. He created a massive spreadsheet to track all monies donated to Rotary by each member, divided by function, fines, projects, donations, contributions, etc. He electronically made out the tax receipts at year end for each member. Oktoberfest Gala Comedy Night was a muscle before and after events, set up and any work required, attendance, payments for all events. Christmas luncheon, attendance and payments. Rotary Maple Syrup fundraiser and Sugar Shack. Andre kept track of all the buyers and monies owed by each. Andre has attended many meetings, both in person and with Zoom. He and Marcy had hosted an exchange student and ensured it was a great experience for her. Took her in early, so their term was extended. I'm out of breath thinking about what he has done in just 2 years of being a member, and Peter did suggest maybe Marcy should have given him this award, but that's okay. We'll keep it in the family. Congratulations, Andre.
No plastic on yours. All right, I wish we could give an award for everyone here in the room, but we can't, but I can thank you all for all your contribution to this club over this year. You've been wonderful. Some great fellowship we've had. The fellowship committee worked hard to make sure that people were, after COVID, were able to get out and see each other and get back to normal. And now we're back to normal, Matt. So you're just gonna have a regular, normal year and it'll all be good, right? Don't jinx it. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? We've got a few things coming up. Anne is having a party on July 5th at her house. It's potluck. Okay, bring mosquito spray for that. All right. And John, anything else about the garden you want to mention?
Yes, July the 5th, is having a work night.
Oh, Frontenac Club at the gardens, Robinson Gardens, come on up here. Maybe there are other people that want to attend.
Yes, the Frontenac Club is having a work night on the 5th. They're going to be making tripods out of rebars. They're already cut. All they're doing is building them together. So I'm not sure at this point how many people are coming, but if anyone would like to join us, I don't even know exactly what time we're arriving, but I would think around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and they'll probably work for an hour. So if you want to join them, we'd appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I know.
And we have another conflict.
I know we do. So there's a lot happening July the 5th. So we can only do what we can do. Right? It's Frontenac's night, but if there is someone that wants to go work with someone from the Frontenac Club, they can. But there is also a going away party for Berenice, and yours was a rain date for July 5th. And so that's just the way it works, folks. It's hard to coordinate all these dates and get everything to match where everyone's available. You'll find that out soon, Matt. And Marcy, what are you doing up here?
I have a quick announcement.
Well, no, it's really good timing. It's really good timing. Come on now.
I just want to announce that Easter Seals is having their regatta at the Kingston Yacht Club on funny guy, Paul, on Sunday, July the 9th from 10 to 3. Guys, this is going to be sort of a family fun summer fest day as well. There's going to be some vendors there. There'll be a barbecue, live music, so tons of fun things happening. We'd love to see you. It's a great opportunity to bring the family out and kind of say hi. So we hope that you'll all be there.
Thank you, Marcy. And I know that the gala committee had a meeting, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday around 9:30 when I got the phone call and Alex says, "Where are you, Alicia?" And I said, "Oh, I totally forgot." So the planning has already started for the gala for 2024. That'll be taking place June what, Rini? June 1st. No, July 5th. Oh, you're funny, Remy. I love you. No,
June 1st.
yeah, June 1st. Okay. So if anybody's interested in the gala committee, or you have any, start thinking about who you can ask for sponsorships. A lot of the money that was raised came through sponsorship. And I know Alex has got some big ideas and I can hardly wait. Right, Alex?
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for taking on the co-chairing, and it's going to be a great event, June 1st, 2024. I know it seems like a long way away, but I can
No,
tell you, when you're
it
planning
doesn't actually.
events,
It doesn't seem like a long way away. Not to me.
right? Yeah, it's a big undertaking, folks. It's a big undertaking. And unless you've been on that committee and you've worked that committee and you see, but I've got a really good program, Andre, that'll take all the money and do everything. Did you look into that yet? Is she looking at it? Okay, I found this software program my husband told me about for charity auctions, and it will make it run much smoother. So I think we should be looking at that. We'll have to pay something for it, but believe me, it'll be worth it. Every penny. I think it's like $500. So I think we got to add that to the line item, Alex.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect. All right. So Matt, are you going to introduce your new board next week? Okay. So I'm just checking. You know how I am with the pins. I'm the same with the protocol about what comes next. What's that? And my calendar. Yeah. So thank you all again. And I think we have a fine. Do we have a fines master today? Maybe we don't. No? Does anybody feel like they have any happy bucks? I do. I'm going to put in 5 happy bucks today. I'm happy. I'm happy for Matt. I'm happy for, I know he's a strategic thinker. So he's got some big plans out there, and I will take him to the Duke and we will talk about it. We may have to take him down a little. We don't want to take him down. He reminds me of my husband. I do this to my husband all the time, the strategic thinker, the dreamer, yes, I know I live with one. So if you want the realist, it's me. But it's important to dream and it's important to have goals. And I know both Remy and Matt have those in sight. And we've got some, so we're getting our new members involved, like Remy, the new head nut, like Alex is taking on. If there are any other new members that want to learn more about how you can participate more in Rotary, just let Maria, did you say you were retiring or you are retired? You've taken on too much already? She's EDI. Okay, well, we'll just leave you with the EDI then. We won't. Sean. Wonderful, Sean. Come up here and tell us what they are. You're happy that you're here. No.
Well, now I have 3 happy bucks. So there's 20 bucks I got to give. Who do I give this to? Because I've never given.
Oh, I'll
happy
give it
bucks.
to David.
All right, I'll give it to you, David. Number one, first of all, just thanking everybody for the award. That really means a lot. You know, we all do this stuff without any motivation, just because we want to give back to the community. So thank you for that. The second happy buck has to do with the club actually donated $1,000 to our agency. We have an education award that we've been putting out for the last 25 years, and it's been $500 every year. And this year, because of some of the extra funding, the club donated $1,000 to youth diversion. And part of today, when I'm at LCBI giving the $500 that the club had donated to a student at LCBI, I'll also be awarding the recipient of the Heather Lynn Wells bursary. And this person actually is from Syria. She was a refugee, been in and out of refugee camps most of her teenage years. She's 18 years old. She's graduating today. She's going off to Queens and wants to become a doctor.
Oh, wow.
So we were able to give her $1,000 today, thanks to your donation. And there was a second place winner, which we don't normally have the funds to be able to do, but because you sponsored the winner, we were able to give a $500 to a recipient in Napanee who's graduating and going off to the CYC program, who has also had. So the award itself is given to a graduating student that has overcome adversity in their life and moving on to post-secondary education. So thank you for both of those.
Paul, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I have two happy bucks. One of them is I'm overjoyed to hear our club is giving an award to the high school people on service above self. I have been working with the Kingston Historical Society since October, trying to get the Historical Society to make an award to the top history student in all of the 9 high schools in the area. And not only have we succeeded, but I'm dressed up like this, not for you folks.
I thought you did that for me, Paul.
Well,
He's got it on.
but giving out one of these awards, 9 of them, one of them to Elsie this afternoon. So I'm really overjoyed because I was going to start the same thing for Rotary, and now you've done it already. So that was the best news of the day for me. I didn't know about that. No, we were working in parallel and never ran into each other. So who said, well, I'll see you this afternoon?
He's at LC, I'm at KSS, or the Leon Center,
You better,
and Paul Elmsley's at LaSalle.
you better dress up.
Yeah, am I okay? I'm not wearing a jacket, Sean, just so you know, I'm not wearing one. You can go just like that, he's fine.
And the second happy buck is that smiling, happy face that you see, a male face, I have been seeing for the last year upstairs is my grandson. He goes by Jonathan Van Nest. His business name is Jonathan. Family name is Adam. So every time I walk in, I say, "Hi, Adam, how are you?" And everybody else is, who's he talking to? So he has just been promoted to business manager here at Kingsbridge, and I'm very, very excited about that.
Great. And Paul, I just want to thank you for all your work on the fraud committee as well. It's amazing. And you know what? I'm really worried about our seniors because with AI, fraud is going to be so different. They're going to fool us. And you, Remy, you're going to get fooled. But it's amazing. It's amazing. It fooled you. Alex and I were actually having a discussion. It fooled her daughter. He even fooled her daughter, who's a dentist. She just graduated from dentistry from U of T. It's just, so it's sad, but please be aware.
Well, and Alicia, can I just make one comment in regards to that? What I've discovered, because my sister at one point was a VP with the Canadian Bankers Association, and now she's with Colleges Ontario, and she was saying that one of the challenges, and this is what happened to my daughter, is that there are people who are inside the institution who work with these scammers. So when what happened with my daughter, she had a big bump in her checkings account because of a transfer that we made to her for rent proof, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the email that the situation referred to this bump in her checkings account. It happened to a woman that my sister worked with who had gone to Service Canada to register a death certificate. And sure enough, shortly afterwards, she got this email about registering this death certificate from, the CRA, and it's all a scam. But there are people on the inside who are obviously passing on this information. And because it's so realistic to the situation that you're in, you just get fooled by it. So even if it really seems legitimate because it reflects something that's going on in your life, you can't trust it because there are people who are on the inside, and the banks are aware of that, but it's sort of figuring out who it is. So anyway, just threw that out there.
So you have to catch them in the act. You can't just say, "Oh, I think it's this person," or "I think it's that person."
Yeah,
that's the problem. You have to catch them.
That's very scary.
Yeah. Okay, Marcy. I have happy bucks. Oh, good.
Okay, I have some happy bucks today. Firstly, I'm happy that Andre was recognized with this award. He is always behind the scenes doing a ton of things. Like, he very rarely gets recognition, so way to go. Yeah. And also, I'd like to give some happy bucks because we were able to go to the Frontenac Club last night and watch Berenice do the presentation that you all saw last week that we were unable to attend because we had company in from out of town. She did a great job. You guys saw it. So that is also happy news.
Mine's pretty simple, actually. I'll give happy bucks for, I was just in Tanzania and I've left our flag in 3 different communities. So on Ukaraiwa Island, on Lake Victoria, and then a city called Arusha, and another one called Tarat. But they didn't have flags to give me. They just don't have them. They can't afford them. Yeah, like, so there's 3 of them there.
So just real quick, I'm just happy for Alicia for all that she's done, for the opportunity, and then also for Lindsay, because she's been taking care of the roster, because we've been doing quite a bit of that. So there's been about 1.010 billion emails and stuff that are going on. So yeah, so yeah. So yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I went through it as well, like Matt did. And it's really, of course, there's going to be changes to your roster when you get it, folks, because we try hard to understand who's coming back, who's not coming back. And, you know, it kind of all comes down at the last minute, but it has to get to the printer. So we do the best we can. And thank you, Lindsay, for taking that on. It's a big job. And I'm sure Matt's relieved you're doing it. I know I was. Yeah. A Duke? Okay. Oh yeah, easy. Beers at the Duke is really easy, isn't it, Matt? Yeah. I'm talking to my neighbor who's a partner there, and I want to get a plaque in one of the booths so we can go in. It is amazing. Pardon me? Yeah, Rotary meeting. I'll talk to him about that. He's home for the long weekend. But it is amazing if you sit down and just relax and have a beer, what you can solve, right? You should know about that, John. Didn't you solve a lot of things like back in the day at the bar? John Garrettson, didn't you solve a lot of political things just having a cocktail with the opposition at the bar? You've forgotten? John, we need to get back to that. There's not enough of that. It's gone the other way. But anyway, I'm not going there. That's my last political speech for the year. You doubt it? Anyway, it is. Okay, I think we're completed unless what? Yeah, good idea. Never thought of that. Alan, going once. Does anyone else have any happy bucks they want to share? Going twice. Oh yeah, on her retirement. So Laura, I had to call Laura. So Laura's in the roster. She's joining our club. Yep, Laura's coming back just to be a regular Rotarian in our club. I told her, Laura, why would you want to be in the same club as your husband? She said, you're right, Alicia. I'm coming to this club. Great. Glad to have you. Thank you, everyone, for all you've done. And of course, you'll still see me, but I'll be in a corner somewhere as quiet as a mouse.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Zoom.
Thank you, Alicia.
You are welcome.
Bye, everyone.
I want to get a picture of you.